All right, guys, so I had many of you reach out regarding the surface area review, especially more towards the triangular prisms. So I am going to go over this review. This is the one from yesterday. And then I'll also be posting tonight a video of me going over the review from today. But I wanted to get this out there ASAP because I know a lot of you had some questions on it. So for number one, this is a rectangular prism. So if you look at the formula sheet, so some of you are using different formulas. I'm not sure where they're coming from, but if you don't use my formulas, you have to use my formulas. I do things a little bit differently than other teachers. If you're not using my formulas, I'm gonna kind of call you out and ask where they're coming from, especially if you're getting things wrong. So please make sure that you're using these ones. I did post this. If you want to stop in and grab like a sheet that has them all nice and organized, please do that. So this is a rectangular prism. So I'm going to use the rectangular prism surface area formula. So these are the things that I need. I need to figure out what is the perimeter of the rectangle, what is the height of my prism, what is the base of the rectangle, and what is the height of the rectangle. Those are the 4 pieces of information that you need. So the base or the rectangle that I'm going to use, and with a rectangular prism, it doesn't matter. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to use this front. So the perimeter is when you add up all the sides. So when I add all the sides of this, I do 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16, so add 16 4 times, and I get 64. So the perimeter of that is 64. The height is going to be the only length that isn't included in your base here, so that's going to be 27 in our case. And then the base and the height are the 2 sides that they give you of your base. So now that you have those numbers, we can plug into our formula. So I'm just going to use one of my school calculators here. So it says take the perimeter, so 64, times the height, plus 2, 16 times 16. Just plug it all in at once, and you can do this in decimals as well. And you get 2,240. That's it. For number 2, the triangular prisms. These have been the issues. So let's take a look. So for a triangular prism, this is the surface area. So your base is going to be the triangle. So you need these 4 pieces of information. You need the perimeter of the triangle. You need the height of your prism, which the height of your prism is not going to be included in your triangle. So it's the only length that's not in your triangle. And then the base and the height come from the triangle. So the base and the height of the triangle are going to be the 2 lengths that come together and form that right angle. So to find the perimeter of the triangle, you add up all 3 sides of your triangle. Perimeter is along the outside. So you do 25 plus 25 plus 14. So if you do 25 plus 25 plus 14, you get 64. The height is the only side that actually is not included in your triangle, and that's going to be the 45, the capital H. And then the base and the height of the triangle are the 2 heights that come together, or 2 lengths that come together on your triangle at a 90-degree angle. So this length and this length come together at a 90-degree angle. So the base is going to be 14 and the height is 24. So those are the links, or those are the numbers that you're going to be now plugging into your formula. So the formula says to take the perimeter, 64, times the height, 45, plus 2, parentheses, 0.5, 1/2, times base times height. And you get 3,216. So main thing is to kind of do what I'm doing here. I always list out all of my values and then I plug them in. So if you reach out to me and ask for help, I'm always going to ask, well, what are you plugging in for your variables? I'm going to need to see this. On your quiz tomorrow, I need to see this. If I don't see this, then I don't know how you're getting your answers. This works for me for work. For number 4, this is a cone. So for a cone, you need the radius and the slant height. So you need your radius and you need the slant height. Well, the radius is going to be half of the diameter, so the radius is 23, and you do not have the slant height. When you are missing your slant height, that is when you have to use the Pythagorean theorem. So if you look at your picture here, here is your right triangle. This is your slant height. So if we take a look at our right triangle here, 52 is how much up and down. There's my slant height. This side of my right triangle is actually the radius, so that's 23. So Pythagorean theorem you're going to use and you're solving for C, so you're going to do 23 squared plus 52 squared, and that equals your slant height squared. So I'm going to kind of shortcut this because we have been doing Pythagorean theorem now for a long time, and you would find your slant height to be 56.9. So plug in the Pythagorean theorem and you would find your slant height to be 56.9. Now you're going to plug in to your formula. So now that I see what my radius is and now that I see what my slant height is, I do pi times radius times slant height plus pi times radius squared. And I get 5773.3. Let's look at another triangular prism, because again, like I said, these were the ones that people were telling me they were struggling with a little bit. So again, for the triangular prism, we need to do the perimeter of the triangle, the height of your prism. Notice that has nothing to do with the triangle. And then you need to do the base of the triangle and the height of the triangle. So for the perimeter of the triangle, so here's your triangle, we need to add all 3 sides together. So you do 40 plus 32 plus 24, and you find the perimeter to be 96. The height of your prism, notice this doesn't have a triangle, so it doesn't include any of the sides of your triangle. This is going to be the 54. And then the base and the height of your triangle are where the 90-degree angle are. So the base is going to be 32, height is 24. And then we plug into our formula. So we do 96 times 54 plus 2 parentheses, 0.5 times 32 times 24. Press enter and you get 5952. That's it. I think for a sphere, you guys should be okay. For a sphere, you just need to know the radius. Radius is half of that, so that'd be 31 for the radius. And then when you plug into the formula for the surface area of a sphere is just 4 pi r squared. So 4 pi times 31 squared. That's a big number. 12076.3. A cylinder, for a cylinder, you only need 2 pieces of information. You need to know the radius and the height. They don't give you the radius again, so you got to cut that in half. And then the height is 42. This one, it can get a little tricky when you're plugging it in. You have to be a little careful with it. So it's 2 pi times the radius times the height plus, I've been telling kids in class, maybe on their formula sheets, they change the plus signs to a different color so they remember it's a plus. A lot of them are putting times. So plus 2 pi and then r squared. And then you do get that big number, 4071.5. And then for number 9, this is your radius. They give you the radius. And then this actually is your slant height. So they do give you the slant height there. So for the cone, they do actually give you everything you need. So when you go to plug in, you do pi times the radius times the slant height plus pi times the radius squared. And you get 3103.9. So I hope that helps. I know I didn't go over all of them, but 3 and 5 are just like number one. But I know that the triangular prisms were a little bit of an issue. Hopefully today, as you work through that review, it helps a little bit. But again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.